Hey everybody, so I'm doing my first bit of maintenance on the bot here. Basically I guess this is the y-axis, was slipping a little, and what's happening is that these nuts here were digging into the wood. So the guys at Crash Space gave me a couple washers I could put on there to help out. So I'll be doing that. And to pull this piece out, you really got to do a little extra bit of work, as you can see here. Pulling the X rods out, pulling the X pulley out of there, and technically I should pull the wires out of here, but the way I did this was, in order to keep all the wiring as flush as possible, I've actually run it underneath the boards here, and to pull this wire loose so I could work on it, I would have to take off this board and this board. So I'm just going to leave that as it is and just work tight. I can still pull it out a little bit here, which isn't too bad. It's certainly enough to be able to get some work done. And basically I just wanted to get this recorded so that I'd have future reference if I ever needed to. One thing that would have saved all this trouble is if this X-cap front simply didn't block this here, and I might have to pull that off as well to get this to tighten down. We'll see in a second. So if this had a lot more accessible area to get the, this isn't the right one, but to get the hex wrench in here, that would have saved all of this trouble. I don't think this can be sliced out easily because the two rods here are relying on the stability of this part. So if I don't know if maybe I could back this up with metal or just something to make this a lot easier to do, because you can't simply slide this part out of here because of these two rods are connected in, well, maybe that is possible actually now that I'm looking at it. Either way, you got to pull apart a lot of stuff to be able to get to this one part. So I'm going to think about that over time, and maybe there is an easier way to do this. I don't know offhand. But if Makerbot Industries simply included enough washers in the first place and said, hey, anywhere there's a bolt, put a washer, that would have saved a whole lot of trouble in the first place. I wish the lighting was better, not only for the camera purposes, but for my purposes too, because I can't see shit. There we go. Well, this can't be true. Can it? There we go. It looked like this piece wasn't going to fit underneath the bridge, is what I'll call it. So let's get the pliers in here. That's not helping out at all. I don't know why it is that as soon as you go looking for something, that's when you will not find it. And getting this to stay tight here is going to be a trick. Hopefully what I can do is yeah, this is fun. Alright, let's try it up here. I was hoping what I could do is leverage the pressure but it's looking like there's no real way to do that. And of course, you drop a major tool like pliers and not be able to find it. Where the hell did it go? There it is. Alright, so what I need to do is stabilize and push this. Here's what I'm trying to do. So we got two nuts right there, so I got to push that as forward as possible. Alright, so maybe this would be easier if I could pull it out entirely. Alright, there we go. Now, I just need to I think that's it. Okay, so doing this action before, the belt was slipping, and I'm pretty sure that is definitely a reason that would contribute to this going off. However, this was going off on not on this dimension but on this dimension, so I was thinking that the X belt was slipping. However, the Y belt was making all the noise. And you notice there's some blue tape here. The only reason that's there is that my platform was out of balance, which can also cause your builds to slope, and this thickness was just enough to get the platform to balance right. There is a way, or there are some modifications people are doing to put some springs in this so you can actually level all four corners. That's a modification I'm going to do at some point, but not today. And basically what I'm seeing for this is that I'm going to be doing a lot of little modifications over. So yeah, a lot of little modifications over time, so in the end, most if not all of it is going to be replaced. So I like the motion that's getting there. Let me just tighten this up and make sure it's as tight as possible. Alright, so this should not be going anywhere. The Makerbot will require a certain amount of maintenance over time. That's not to be unexpected at all. But I was a little surprised that it needed maintenance already. So I've been doing, the only test I've really done so far is I built the knob that's up here and out of shot right now. And even there I don't think it can be seen. And then this TARDIS from Doctor Who. This is the most successful print I got. And basically, I pulled this apart, but you can see it went pretty straight overall. And then all of a sudden it just slipped over this degree, built all that nice and straight, and then slipped over by this, and then built all the rest of it nice and straight. Then the very next build, it started doing this. So, hopefully this will resolve the issue, or at least mitigate it somewhat, if not entirely. So that's not too bad a bit of maintenance there. Initially, this seemed to be much more of an effort than it has turned out to be. But I'm sure that trying to get this axis on here is going to be a little bit of a task. There's already one washer on this one, but alright, I already added. There was no washer on the top one, but I did have a washer for the bottom here. And if you're going to build one of these yourselves, washers are absolutely critical facets to the build. There we go. So I'm really glad that I've got this on a Lazy Susan right now. It makes working with it immensely useful. And I was printing with it on the Lazy Susan, and I didn't notice any shifting around due to the axes. But it's very possible that somehow that could have been a contribution to the whole thing. Modification I'm going to work on next, apart from printing the actual case design here, modification, is putting in about 20 white LEDs on the inner front wall there so that the lighting on the piece will be that much better.